अनाथ नाथ दीन बंधु तुम हो आनंद घोर।
Hari Om. Here we are, the last day of the yajna, and I am already starting to miss coming here every evening and reveling in this beautiful katha. Anyway, we'll get many more chances. London is having Swamiji tomorrow onwards. It's not too far, only an hour away. So feel free to join them if you want to enjoy this for another 3 days. Um, Today's sponsors, I don't see them all here. So I do see Sangeeta and Arvindji here, so please come and light the diya. Our other sponsors today are Vasu and Hat Srinivasan. They are not here either. And of course, Ram and I also have the privilege of lighting the diya today. We would also like to acknowledge our other generous sponsors, Carol Verma and Chris Mohan. They are not here, but they were there in the morning at the family retreat. So I think they had an opportunity to meet with Swamiji and receive prasad. So thank you very much. And we hope to see you at the upcoming programs of Chinmaya Mission. So thank you.
Sorry, I didn't record. Yes. Every Saturday there's Hanuman Chalisa chanting here. This time, today we'll do, but we have to do 3 times. You get 3 times the blessings. I don't like the same sounds. So good now. Sunny brother, sunny day, so many. Just me, I guess me, lonely, she says. Yes, so well, girl, yeah, John, I saw it's really some some so how many changes it's not Seguidor, rodando solo, se abre pretinja, para suta, quinta, So, it's interesting speaking. Enjoy but it's so very so it's like I can use a brand new and the push around the set thing. So, so, this singing this so, Jimmy, chance to provide niche necessity, which would be provide command. And I love you. Live together, this कपित जन्म सार रक्षा मासुदा शुक्र नमः व्याकृतशातः व्याश्रित वस्त्राणि करा याश्रित पद्मा या ब्रह्मा श्वेतशंकर प्रभृति सदा सामान्य सरस्वती भगवती साक्षात् सरस्वती भगवती निःशेषज्ञानघन समस्त जन कल्याण सदगुरु सदगुरु शरणं प्रपद्ये मनोजव जिते धीरतां निजं समुद्र श्रीरामचूतं शिरसा Okay, okay. If you're joining us tonight for the first time, we see the ending portion of Sri Ramcharitmanas. It is called as Uttara Kanda. And last night when we left it, we saw the end of that long story with the Kaka, Bhushundi, and Garuda. And now we make the question here, Kaka, Bhushundi is having his final dialogue. What asks about the difference between Jnana and Bhakti. What is the difference between Jnana and Bhakti? And actually, Rahu Shandi's reply to this is really, there is no difference. That is his first statement. The two have really no difference. But if you dig a little bit deeper, this is, I'll just chant it for you in my only tell. Just before 115, I think this feedback is coming from the monitors. Sound, there you go. One chopper, two chopper before 115. अगति विज्ञानहीन कछु वेदा Yeah, Yeah, but Ramachandra ki. So the question was, it is different between, tell me about Jnana, Jnana, Bhakti, and then Ketan. What is the difference between Jnana and Bhakti? Because many people, see, why I'm telling you this is because people argue, first of all, should I, what is better, Shaivite or Vaishnavite? We saw that, yeah? Mm. Then people argue again, tell me what is better, Nirguna or Sagun? There is trouble. So he's still asking the same question now. What is the difference between Jnana and Bhakti? Because Bhakta se Bhakti is better. Jnani se Bhakti, Jnana is better, you see. So Garud is, Kaghushandi is very wise to answer now. What is this? Bhagati Jnana hi naikachu Veda. There is no difference between Bhakti and yeah, because if you tell some different, now you start fighting again. No difference. So what is the meaning? Like this now, you have to understand. The meaning is both of them lead to the same goal. From that standpoint, you see, you plug any place you're going on Google Maps or Waze or whatever, it will give you this route and this route, isn't it? But the destination will be same only. So here, the two of them, destination is same, so difference is not there. But the practice might be a little bit different. If you take this road with Google, you may get Timmy's down the road there. You take this road, you might get Starbucks. That road will be a little different and all, you know. One will have more traffic lights, one will have more straight roads like that, no traffic light. But really, both will reach same. So from that standpoint, kachu nahi bheda. No difference. Ubaya harai bhavaban, and this is from this because both of them remove sansar. I cross over sansar by either of them. And better you stick to one also. Eh? You don't want to have your legs in two boats. Because if there's a drift in the water, one boat will go this way and one boat will go that way, and where you will go. Yeah. Better stay in one boat only. Jnana and bhakti. Okay. Now, after answer, of course, he said, but some people say, "Oh, there is some difference here and there." And then he goes to give some differences and all. But in the end, like for example, one is a little bit more difficult, one is a little bit more easy. But that is only from a certain standpoint. Huh? I gave you the example I done on the previous days, na? When you have to go to Vaishnav Devi, like this, on the top there, Devi Ma is on the top. So you can make a road straight like this. Or how they make it, how they actually make it is a road like this. Those of you who have been, huh? On the side of the mountain. Now, I tell you, the road like this, you will have to walk 3 times the distance, correct? The road like this will be one straight road. The distance will be much less. But even though the distance is less here, the amount of effort you have to put to go up this steep slope, the distance becomes less, but the effort becomes more. Here, the effort becomes less, but the distance becomes more. Let me tell you something. Sansar is sansar, you cannot change. When you add up both, it amounts to same only. We cannot change the configuration and all in sansar. We found it like this. So for any goal, same effort will be required. No, Swamiji, some people say. We see some people, they work so hard to get that goal. And the other man, he came and did hardly anything. And he got it. You've seen? Yeah. So this is people's argument. We are saying, look here, you only see what the first fellow worked now in this lifetime, and you only see what the second fellow worked in this lifetime. You cannot see what they have done in. Yes, that you cannot see. And Sanatan Dharma, you don't live only one lifetime. Hmm? I should stop saying in Sanatan Dharma. Nobody lives only one lifetime. Hmm. One fellow went and told Mahatma, Mahatma ji, I don't believe in reincarnation. Not Mahatma ji said, no problem. In your next life, you'll believe. That means to say, whether you believe or not, you will have a next life. Because truth doesn't depend on your belief. I told you that, now. Truth has no bearing on belief. Truth is independent of belief. So you could believe what you want. People used to believe that the earth was flat, no? Correct? Did that make the earth flat? Anyway, the two parts are presented usually. Gyan is very difficult. Bhakti is easy. But that's not true. That is presented, that is what they call the advertisement. The advertisement has to make that thing look good, isn't it? Nobody will tell you, buy this product. This is the worst product ever. Who will tell to buy it? Who will do advertisement like that? Tell our product is the best product ever, isn't it? All right. So after that now, he, Garud asked, now you have to jump, huh? You have to take a big jump, leap there. After 120, 120. 7 questions. And it is usually called as Bhushundi Gita. 7 questions he asked. now she's like Arjuna is asking question to Bhagwan Ram and Bhagwan Krishna, and Bhagwan Krishna is answering. And in Aranyaka, and Lakshmana is asking to Bhagwan Ram. Bhagwan Ram is answering. So that's called Ram Gita. First one is called Krishna, Bhagavad Gita and all that. So here it's called Bhushundi Gita. People give me why? Now Garud asks 7 questions. And then Bhushundi will give the answer to these 7 questions. Huh? People have different names for different things. You can call it whatever you like also. Now, see, I will chant these verses. We'll see the questions because it is said if you get the questions correct first, half the answer already is there in your mind. Get the questions right. Chandra ki jai. 7 questions in these lines. Pratamahi Dhira. Please tell me first, Prabhu. Garud is addressing Kahu Shundi as Nath. Mati Thira. Why is one? Sabte Dhula Kavana Sarira. Which is the first question? No, you have to see the questions. Which is the most difficult body to get? Because I could have been born as a mosquito, born as a caterpillar, or something. So, which is the most difficult body to get? That is the first question. Bal Dukha Kavana. Which is the greatest dukkha, sorrow? Kavana, sukha bhari, and the greatest joy in this world. Greatest sorrow and greatest joy. So sanche paikaru bichari. You please tell me briefly. This is a good thing. But he telling briefly also. Means Guru requests briefly you tell. Otherwise, sometimes you ask a question and he gives preface also, introduction also, and the body also, and summary also. So we want something brief and succinct, to the point. He asked like that only. So tell me briefly, what is the greatest dukkha, greatest sukha? This is number 2 and 3. Number 4, Sant Asant Maramatuma Janahu Tinapara Sahaja Subhav Khanahu You know the difference between Sant and Asant, saints and the other people. You know the difference between saints and non-saints. Huh? You please, you please tell me that difference. Bakhan who tell. Then kavana punya suti bidta bisala kau kavana aga param krala is tell me as stated in Shruti, what is the greatest punya? Punya means meritorious thing you can do. And added to that, kavana aga paraman karama. Tell me what is the greatest pap, sin in scriptures, what scriptures tell. So how many over? Six. Last one. Manasa roga kau samuchai. Tumasarvagya kripadhikai means you tell me what is manas. Rog means disease. And manas means mind. Mental disease. Very important question in today's time. Hmm. So these are the seven questions. And now our great and learned Kaku Shundi goes on to answer us. Nartana Samanahi Kavani Devi which is the most difficult body to get. That was the question. Naratanu Samanahi Kavani Dehi. This Naratanu means human body is the most difficult thing to get. And Jiva Chara Chara Ja Chatatehi. All Jivas go on wishing to get a human body. And how many Jivas are there? Please all register all of this in your mind so that you will know it's an Sanatan Dharma worldview. You have to change your worldview because a different worldview has been given to you. Over 300 years, you're walking around with a different worldview in your head. In the worldview, there are so many countless Jiva means the one who lives in this body. So what is the number of Jivas in the universe? Infinite. Infinite Jivas. If you really count, forget other lokas and all. You count here on the earth itself, it will be infinite. Scientists tell me in my stomach, there are like 93 trillion or something. You think it's one Jiva walking about it? Some 93 trillion of some of them inside. They call that the flora of the stomach, isn't it? So, and this is just one person. Imagine. So, jivas. But the human body is the most difficult to get. And also, it is, he tells it nicely, Narakaswarga, Pavarga Niseni, Jnana Virag, Bhagati, Suvadeni, only in this human body. Oh, through this human body first. We can go to Swarga or we can go to Narak. Dogs don't do papa. Lions don't do papa. When they eat a deer, that is not papa. But my dear, when you eat a deer, that will cost you dearly. We do pap. Human beings do pap. Animals cannot do pap. So this human body gives us the freedom of choice by which we can go to Swarga or we can go to Narak. But that means by this human body, we can get mukti. So that's what he's trying to point to. Jnana Virag Bhagati Subhadeni. We can practice yeah, knowledge, vairagya, means dispassion, bhakti in the human body. Other creatures cannot practice. And so by this practice, we can get mukti. Gyan means you acquire knowledge. Like now we're seeing Shastric Gyan here. If we bring the cow or the dog or the cat here, they will listen and all, but you can logically decipher things and add things and calculate and plan and, rationalize and all that you can do. The animal cannot do. So the human body is the best. One fellow said his dog does mathematics, telling the other fellow. The other fellow said, craziness. How your dog will do mathematics? He said, yes. When I ask my dog 2 minus 2, he says nothing. So your dog does mathematics. That is not any indication of that. Huh? Human body. So tanutari hari bhajai na jena. And then he says, my dear Garur, the one who gets this human body and he doesn't worship Bhagwan, hoi bisha rata manda manda tara, and goes on reveling in all this world only. He doesn't worship the Lord. Kacha kirich badale te lehi karate dari parasa money. What he's done, he gives up the paras money and takes up some useless. Paras money is the touchstone. The one who gets this human body and doesn't worship Bhagwan. Like that. Okay, now, what is the greatest dukkha? Sorrow. And the greatest sukha? Those were the other two questions. Greatest sorrow and greatest joy in this world. Shri Rama Jaya. Sorry. Chandra ki jai. Nahi daredra sama dukha jag mahi. In this world, there is no greater sorrow than poverty. That is why it is very important for us to become cognizant of this. Poverty it leads to every type of sorrow that you can think about. It's at the root of so many different types of sorrows. So there is no greater sorrow than poverty. Daridra, Santamilana sama sukha jaganahi. And there is no greater joy in this world than meeting saints, meeting sadhu. Ehi sarati kari ao pehchan sadhu te ho. Jai Ramachandra ki jai. Like the clapping on the side. I didn't pay them. Huh? Very good. The question is, tell now. The greatest sukha, he says, meeting saints, and Tulsidaji likes this very much. Throughout this Ramcharitmanas, he praises Sant, 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 and this tradition. That is why at the end we say, Syavara Ramachandra ki jai, Pavana Sutta Hanuman ki jai. Then last we say, even Umapati Mahadev ki jai. Last we say, Bole bhai, sab santane ki jai. Like that. We save that all the time for the last. Because in this tradition, there, one of the verse we just chanted, he says, Nayan nahi sant darasan nahi dekha. Those eyes that have not feasted themselves on a saint. Lochana mor pank kar lekha. Those eyes are like the eyes on the peacock feather. Peacock feather eyes, what does it see? Nothing. Only something of beauty only. Of no use. And the other one, Hanumanji tells, he sees Ram Ankit on the door of a little hut in Ayodhya. Ram Ankit, born arrow Bhagwan Ram stuck on that door. अरे इधर कोई संत है, some saint is here, some sadhu, Rama Bhakta. Wow, I have to meet this person. He thinks this is Lanka, is a strange place, huh? He's an illegal alien also, undocumented immigrant. He thought, I have to meet the who this Ram Ankit is on the door. He goes there and he thinks in his mind, Tulsidashi, right? Ehi sana hati kariyau chani. Sadhu te hoi na kara jahani. Means to say, as some saint is living here, I am going to meet him at any cost, because meeting a saint never has any loss. Even if he whacks me on the head, he'll whack out some ajnan. So meet that saint at any cost, even if he beats me like that. So here, no greater joy in this world, Garud Bhushanti tells to Garud, than meeting saints. Like that, there are so many verses. Parvitar bachan mama kaya sant sahaja subhav kagaraya. Now, the next question will tell the difference between sadhu and asadhu. Sant, asant. Tell that difference. So now he starts. Saints, sadhus, they have only one thing to do in this world. And the word is given here, paropakar. When that is joined together in Sanskrit, paropakar means seeking the welfare and benefit of others. Because the human being is born selfish. We only think about ourselves. So here is Nara and here is Sadhu. And what makes the difference? Nara's attention is turned towards himself. He is only seeking his welfare benefit. And Sadhu's attention is turned towards others. Paropakar, Vachana, Manaka, and body, speech, and mind. He lives for others. Santa Sahaja Swabhav. This is natural nature of a saint. Santa Sahai Dukha Parahita Lagi. They face many, many sorrows for the benefit of others. They prepare. See, I told you the example now. When Hanumanji was pulled into the court of Ravan, that time all the Rakshas on the side of the road, they were kicking him also. When he went into the court, he said, I don't mind if they kick, But they gave me kicks. I took because I am working for Bhagwan Ram. And for my Ram, I will take any number of kicks. He allowed them. Otherwise, Hanumanji, he has to move his tail only. He'll throw out all the Rakshas in the ocean, isn't it? But for Bhagwan Ram, he is ready to take anything. Like that. Paritukahe to asant abhagi. And now, asant, asatu. In Sanskrit language, when you put sadhu means good person. When you want to make the opposite, you put asadu. Not English, he's a sadhu. Not like that. Sadhu and asad. Sant, asant. The opposite comes when you put a in front. So he says, Paritukahetu asant abhagi, mean the one who is asant, the opposite of sane. This unfortunate soul, he spends his life only in bringing sorrow to others. Sadhu spends his life in bringing joy. No, it's a simple distinction. Spends his life in bringing joy to others. A sadhu spends his life in bringing sorrow to others. Do not think that is a species of people living somewhere in some island. A sadhu is us only. Sadhu is one who spends his life seeking the welfare of others. Now you think, is it possible in this world to seek your own selfish benefit and not trample on others, not take advantage of others, not take the benefit from others? That is not possible, actually. You will have to live only by yourself in an island alone. Then only you will not be taking advantage of others. The moment we are seeking our own welfare and benefit, we have to do that through other individuals, through the environment, through the ecological system, through something. That selfishness always includes this thing. So, asadu, asant is not a species living somewhere. It is what we engage in on a regular basis. Huh? And he gives examples. Burj, Taru, Sama, Sant, Kripala, Parahita, Nita, Saha, Vipati, Visala means to say that it's like a Burja Taru. Burja Taru is in the old days, Taru means tree. In the old days, there's a special type of tree. In English, I don't know what to, birch something. Huh? Birch. They used to peel out the bark because that tree was most suited to writing. So all the things that they wrote in the earlier days were written on that burja bark. And it means they'll tear out his skin. So he gives that example of sadhu. Sadhu doesn't mind if his skin has to be torn out for the benefit of others. That is why it is given like that. Huh? Saha, Vipati Visa, bear great sorrow. Then Sanaiva Kalapara Bandana Karai Kal Kadhai Vipati Sahi Marai. And say, Sadhu bears sorrow to bring joy to others. A sadhu, he'll bear sorrow to bring sorrow to others. So he doesn't mind going through all sorts of difficulty, but to bring sorrow. And he gives an example of, hemp. From hemp, they make this rope. And that rope, he says, is like this, a sadhu. The hemp goes through all the processing and refining and all of that. Hemp takes all that trouble, but in the end, it's used to bind only. A sadhu, he'll go through all sorts of trouble. You know what trouble? Burglars and thieves and all sorts of people like that. Let me tell you, in this cold winter, when you you're pulling your blanket like that, and you don't want to get out from under your covers. Those fellows are working hard, you know. They go through all sorts of tough time. And then what? Bring sorrow only to people. That is the idea. Mm. Khalabinu, Swaratapara, Upakari, Apakari, Ahi, Mushaka, Iva, Sunu Uragari. He gives two examples for wicked people. One, he call it Ahi and Mushak. Ahi and Mushak means snake and mouse. It means for no reason those fellows just bite. They just destroy things. Hmm? They like they're not like for example, this is a real story. Once I was living in Banaras on Ganga Tir. I had a little room there, and it's in the night I was just lying down like this. Then I felt a rat ran over my head. I got up. That room had nothing, huh? No food, no nothing. I'm thinking, what is he doing here? But this fellow is just running around for no reason. Then I saw him run through a little hole in the wall, a little hole like this. He ran through. I said, oh, there was a piece of wood there. I took the wood and I plugged the hole. Then I went to sleep happily. I thought so. After a few minutes, I heard cut, 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 cut. I got on, put on the light again. You know, he chewed that piece of wood to powder in just a minute or two. There was only wood powder there. And listen, he did not eat the wood because it's still there. And his room has nothing to eat. So his job is to what only to only destroy what is there. There's nothing else. There's no food for him. So he gives that example. In other words, the idea is that there are people in this world just born to do bad things. Is it correct or not? It is absolutely right only. Some people are just born to do bad things. You just make sure that you're not one of them because that is lifetime koti janma of papa. And that is always going to be like that. Suffering, suffering, suffering. So it's called asadu. He gives so many examples like that. Huh? And so many goes on to give. In the scriptures, if they talk about sadhu, they'll give two examples. If they talk about asadu, they'll give 20 examples for them, the same two. Because that is what we see more in the world. That is why. In the world, we see more of that all the time. Hmm? No, Swamiji, this is a very law-abiding country, you know. Everybody wear their seatbelt and they stop by the stop sign. That is only because there's a ticket associated with it, I tell you. Hmm. Park anywhere. That judge asked that man, why did you park here? Didn't you see the sign? He said, yes. That's why I park. It said here, fine for parking. So he parked there. Fine for parking means some place I had taken a trainee person in the US. So when you get off the highway, on the highway, you get a fine for speeding. When you get off the highway in these, what we call residential areas and all, there you have to drive really slowly because there's schools and so, you know. So there's a sign there, fine doubles. That trainee fella, he said, hey, look, those nice doubles. Doubles are Trinidad street food. So he thought they're nice doubles, fine doubles. Fine double doesn't mean you'll get good doubles. I mean, whatever price. Anyway, so the in the world, if you look, you see more people who will do the wrong things than do the right thing. That is why we have to have so many laws and so much of law enforcement and all of that. If it is not there, so he gives so many examples for all the negative things. Now, number 5. What is the uh, greatest punya and greatest pap? Those two things here asked. Huh? 5 and 6. Sri Rama Jai, Jai Ram. Prativedita, himsa. The greatest dharma, punya, is ahimsa. And the greatest papa, paraninda. Punya means to do all meritorious. Ahimsa means all meritorious. Punya means all meritorious thing. Ahimsa is the greatest punya. Means to stay away from bringing hurt and pain to others. Stay away from bringing pain and hurt to others. This is the greatest punya we can do. And sometimes the pain and the hurt multiplies, depending on how it is, which direction and which way it is going. For example, for the person to bring, for the guru to bring pain to the chela, the guru brings pain to the chela for the chela's development. Correct? But for the chela to bring pain to the guru, so see, bringing pain, but depends on which direction it is in going. Same thing with parents and children. For the parent to bring pain to the children, it is for the children's own evolution and development. But for children to bring pain to parents, this is a big part. You understand this thing? Because one has one's welfare in mind, and the other one has their own selfish interest in mind. So, not to bring pain. Ahimsa really, himsa means pain actually. Himsa is pain. Any sort of act that will bring pain. That is called himsa. Paranindasama aganagarisa. And to speak ill of others is no greater path. To speak bad things about others. But there's one good thing in this, This ninda. In Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavan says, a true sadhaka, he tulya ninda stutir mauni. He's supposed to, whether somebody prays or they speak ill of you, you're supposed to maintain your balance. Manapamana yoho. Like that, right? So many words are there in Gita. But in this ninda, there is actually a very good thing that when people speak ill about you, that time, if you really can maintain your balance, your evolution is very fast. So Kabir Sahib has written at one place, he says that if somebody is speaking ill about you, that is the best person in your life. You bring him close and build a kutia for him next to your house. So that every day when he speaks ill about you, your ego will be washed away. This is so good actually. So anybody who's speaking ill, it works, I'll tell you a real story. Real story. This works so good. I like it. I say real man came to my house, Kutia one day, and he said, Sanaji, I came to give you $1 million. This is TT dollars. I came to give you $1 million. He said, oh, well, I don't take money, but Chinmaya Mission takes. Yeah, I mean Chinmaya Mission. He said. So he said, come, let us go to the bank. I said, okay, I have to get bank information from the office. He took me to the bank. And while going, he told me, I had gone to give this $1 million to another Panditji. And when I reached there, that fellow started telling bad things about you. I turned from there and I came here. I said, what? Aren't there other people who are speaking bad things about me? We should find some more. So see, this Ninda thing, we should never worry. Let who have to say, let them say what they have to. Yes, you don't ever worry. Actually, your benefit will be so. And as Kavi Sahib has written that thing, you build a kutir for him next door. And keep him there, close. Paraninda. But anyway, for the person who is doing it is Mahapap. I'm telling from your side, you don't bother. Let him say. But for the person who does it, this thing is called as great sin. In the words of Kakushundi. And now, number 7 is the last one. Number 7. What is Manas Rog? So you have to go down a few lines. There. So the root of all mental disease. Shri Rama Jai. Shri Rama Jai. Syavara Ramachandra ki jai. Now, in the Vedic tradition, the mental disease is not unconnected to the ordinary things which we see in scripture. Now, let me just call some words and tell me if you have not heard this 1,000 times. Kam, Krodha, Mada, Lobh, Matsara, all these words you have heard? Right. So that is what is there in this whole section here. And it's Kam, Krodh, Mada, Lobh, Matsara, Ityati, all of these Durgunas, they are related to a couple Durgunas a little bit higher. One is called as Mamatvam and Ahamtva. This means me and mine. Those you have heard also. Me and mine. And those two are related to one a little bit higher than that. That thing is called as Moha. Moha means delusion. And that delusion is related to the final progenitor of all of these Durgunas. And that thing called avidya, ajnana, ignorance. Huh? So ignorance, moha, me and mine, kam, krodh, lobh, matsara, jealousy, pride, all these things down at the bottom here, right? So here, Kagvashundi tells to Garud, the mental disease is this thing called as moha, delusion. So because ignorance is we don't have any pramana to know ignorance. We only know the effect of ignorance. We can't know the cause. We only know the effect. So moha is the first effect. So from there it starts. So, and this mental disease, delusion in the mind leads to all the others. And I'm telling you, it also leads to what we call as real mental disease outside also. Because when it becomes so bad, it deteriorates so bad, it leads to the what is the ordinary, what we call as ordinary mental disease on the outside. And that has become a big problem now because we have not treated any of these. Moha, me, and mine. In fact, me and mine is been promoted, and we go on making people have stronger and stronger feeling of me and mine. And we're telling little children in the schools now, you choose your identity. And it's a me and mine. Identity from that small age, we're not capable of doing that. We're telling. So this is me and mine is being promoted, promoted, promoted. And from that leads all this calm, krodh, lobh, matsara, all the different things coming down at the bottom. Oh, and this thing, when it gets virulent, when it gets uncontrollable, it takes control of us. That thing is called a mental disease. This takes control of us instead. We are not in control of it anymore. Calm, krodh, and all. So, things have their root in this moha, of course, which has its roots in ajnana. Huh? In the insane asylum, one of the patients fell into the swimming pool. Another patient quickly saw him, he dived in there and saved him. So the doctors and the nurses and everybody witnessed this. And they thought if this fellow has enough presence of mind and consciousness and care and everything to jump in there to save that other fellow, nothing is wrong with him. He's saved. So maybe he's healed. So next day they had a meeting and all. And they called him and they told, we have all come to the conclusion that you are healed. You will be discharged from this institution. You can go home because we all witnessed what you did. You had so much of presence of mind, so much of consciousness and care and sympathy and everything. So you are now cured. You can go home. But before you go home, we want to tell you one sad piece of news. That fellow, it looks like he wanted to die because when he jumped in there or fell in there or whatever, and you saved him in the nighttime, he went and hung himself there. This man said, no, man, he didn't. I hung him there to dry out. I put him there to dry that poor fellow. This thing is a little worse than we thought. All right. So I'm telling you from Shastras, it is this same diseases which are mentioned in the Shastra, they're called mental diseases, that in a deteriorated state, in a worsened state, becomes the same mental disease which we know out on the street. No difference. They call Manasa Rog. And the solution, and now I have 1 minute left, it's 8:59. The solution Kakabashundi gives to Garud is, my dear, you develop Ram Bhakti. You have bhakti for Ram. And in today's world, we are not teaching bhakti to our children and all those type of things. Develop bhakti for Ram. All right. Now I end here. This is the last major teaching of the Ramcharitmanas. And there's a famous, very famous doha, which Tulsidas ji ends this Ramcharitmanas 130. I will chant this doha and I'll tell you the meaning because you can't leave this Uttarakhand without this most famous doha in Uttarakhand. Hmm? If you have studied Ramcharitmanas and you have not heard this doha, you have not really studied Ramcharitmanas. I told you in one of the days, Bhagwan Shiva is telling Ramayana to Parvati ji. Kag Vushundi is telling to Garud. The sage Yajnavalkya Rishi is telling to Bharadwaj Muni. And these all three which are going on is Jnana Yoga, Karma Yoga, and Bhakti Yoga. And Tulsi Das ji is telling to all of us. So they already exhausted all the three yogas. Jnana, Karma, Bhakti. Know what Tulsi Das ji is telling them? What yoga is he telling? And in this doha, the yoga is explained, the yoga is given. Which yoga is Tulsidas ji teaching to all of us? Tulsidas ji is teaching in his own presentation. It is called as Dainya Yoga. Dainya Yoga means I am totally helpless before Bhagwan. I really cannot do anything. I submit 100% before the Lord. Bhagwan, you take care. You take care of me because it is not in my power. That is called a Dainya Yoga. And therefore it says, Mo sama dina na dina hita tum saman raghuvi. Mo sama dina na means there is no more helpless in this world than me. And in this world, dina hita tum saman raghuvi, na dina saman tum hita tum saman raghuvi. And the one who takes care of the helpless in this universe, there is none equal to you. So there is nobody who is lost and fallen and helpless like me. And there is nobody who can take care of the lost and fallen as you. Therefore, Asabichari Raghuvantamani, oh, jewel of the Raghu dynasty, you please think about me. And Harahu Vishama Bhavavi, you remove my bondage to this samsara and my afflictions and all in this samsara. It is a total surrender of Tulsidaji at the end of this Ramcharitmanas. And they call Dainya Yoga. For the one, Pidala what? Meow. The cat, little kitten says, and doesn't do anything. The mother comes and takes by the neck. Dainya Yoga. Huh? So he ends Ramcharitmanas like this. Okay, I exceeded by 4 minutes. Please excuse me. And we will see now when I come next. June 23rd. Okay. Okay, so thank you for having me here once more on this winter. Right. I hope that you picked up something from this Ramayana to make your own life better and better as you go along on your spiritual path. Hari Om.
Hari Om. Well, while this yajna has come to a close, it certainly feels like our hearts are now wide open. And although it started with a blast of Arctic cold air, it now feels like there's a warm, glowing light in our hearts. And for this wonderful gift to us, we offer our most humble pranams to you, Swamiji. We also offer our gratitude to our dearest Swaminiji, who is always giving and guiding and loving and serving. Thank you, Swaminiji. And thanks to all the Sevaks who came together in this true spirit of yajna, to the Bhiksha families, to the Bal Vihar families with their food coordination, to the junior chicks who facilitated activities with kids during satsang, to our yajna sponsors, to the yajna coordination team, to everyone who attended, our humble thanks. And Priti Boj today, please stay back for Priti Boj. The sponsors are the Chinmaya Mission Guyana Coordination Team in Toronto. And please remember to mark your calendars for upcoming events that you wouldn't want to miss. Like, for example, Gita Jayanti, which is just around the corner next Saturday, December 9th. Vishnu Sahasranama Puja on December 31st, which will be online. Our New Year's Day Guru Paduka Puja, ongoing weekly programs. Please check information posted on the bulletin boards. And at this time, we'd like to invite tonight's Bhiksha sponsors and Yajna sponsors to come forward for Aarti, after which you'll have the opportunity to offer Guru Dakshina to Swamiji. Thank you. Hari Om.
आरती श्री रामायण जी की रति